number of years ago. What we found, and this I am giving reference because this was something that I was directly involved and I was coordinating that program. We found out that just in 9 districts of Punjab, which is a cotton growing area, over 11 billion rupees annual loss was being caused in a number of other parameters, which include, of course, biodiversity. But then we also had initiated some degree research on the impact of on soil biomass, gave us the first-hand information as to what is happening. Of course, the industrial waste also adds to it. Now, colleagues, young professionals, soil biodiversity not only plays a major role in food security and human and plant and nutrition, but we produce vaccines and number of medicines from these soil microorganisms. As I said, I'm a plant nematologist, and I know that the human activity has been causing a lot of damage. Being a plant nematologist, I can tell you that in our soils, there are wonderful organisms which do a lot of service for the ecosystem, and that is what the scientific community, the agriculture researchers really need to find out. First of all, what biodiversity we have, but then we can only identify and understand that diversity of microorganisms if we have the taxonomies. In the recent past, the expertise in taxonomy have reduced a lot, but I would like to emphasize that we need more taxonomists supported by the molecular biologists to identify the organisms, and also map the role of those organisms, the functional role of the biodiversity that we have in the soil. It is only then that we can, talk of protection. So researchers need to work out the population of microorganisms in the soils and their services in the ecosystem. Thus, we need more research to understand the drivers of this loss that we are facing. Number one, what is the habitat degradation, how it happens, the pollution that adds to our soils, the overexploitation of resources. But I also wish to talk about the invasive species. There are species that are invasive on others. They overtake some of the indigenous organisms and plants, and that's where the introduction of exotic organisms, including microorganisms, should not really be done. But we need to find out what is in our own soils. And I tell you that while looking at nematodes, we discovered some of the bacteria inside the body of nematodes, which were not only helping, to increase the fertilizers for the soil fertility in our soils, but also they were managing some of the insect pests, which have one of their stages in the soil. And then the climate change, which has shown a lot of impact on the soil microflora. So the most important first step is to know what soil biota we have in different soils and prepare sort of a distribution maps of the area. And then the second step would be to understand the functional role of various organisms in the soil, as I mentioned already. Third, of course, would be what damages them and how to protect those organisms. Invasive species I already talked about, and climate change, of course, affects the biota um, on Earth and inside the soil. Thus, research should be, focused more. And taxonomy also I emphasize. So finally, I would like to emphasize that as believers, no matter what faith we belong to or follow, the life in the universe, including our soils, has a role. And that is also true for the biota of soils. And we need to know their services in the ecosystem and therefore protect them to help us and also to ensure the food security. I thank you all very much and wish you a great webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mansur. Thanks a lot. He's one of them who is the pride of Pakistan. So, Dr. Manzoor Somro, Dr. Azim, and all other doctors from agriculture, they all are our pride and the inspiration for youth and young professionals. So, thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. Yes, now we have Dr. Ratan Lal. Dr. Ratan Lal is he is the Nobel Prize doctor around the world. So we just invited him, but because of the time schedule, he couldn't manage his time. Now we have his recorded message, and I would like to request Dr. Abhi. Abhi, can you please play this? We have his recorded message, so let's welcome him, Dr. Ratan Lal.
Excuse me, there's no audio.
We cannot hear anything.
No, it's not.
Because of the technical issues, we will welcome Dr. Ratan Lal later. Yeah, please fix it. Excellent. Now, our next speaker, Dr. Azim, are you there, sir? Dr. Azim, sir, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, please
I'm audible?
be with us. Now, let me welcome you on our World Soil Day webinar. Sir, please start your presentation. And thank you so much for participating on our event. Thank you so
Hello,
much.
thank you.
Let us
Thank you
start.
very much. I'm also extremely thankful to this Young Professional Forum for inviting me on this very important World Soil Day. I think as my other colleagues, they shared that soil, water, and air are the very important gifts of Almighty Allah, and we all equally understand that these gifts are not what you call it. They are also limited. Their availability is not infinite, and we have to use these resources very, very carefully. That we all understand, and we know that as I was just reviewing some of the articles and found that 1 centimeter layer of soil is formed in almost more than 1,000 years. And it really performs very important functions, like it helps in filtering water. It is an immense source of for water storage, as well as it helps in recycling. It helps in many ways that human being is then you can use this very importantly. And we also understand that healthy soils are the basis for healthy food. If we will be degrading continuously these soils, and then as a result, the whole humanity will be suffering because of this overexploitation. And for climate change kind of phenomena that particularly in Pakistan from last 3 years, we fully understand that, and we have been facing this problem and experiencing huge production